Hi girls, let's see us for another video still about Stories of Yanxi Palace because duh, we love that show here. So in this one, I really want us to focus on 10 lessons from the show that are helpful for your professional life. They are still about social intelligence, power structures, but I think those are mostly helpful for the professional life. If you haven't seen the first video, go and watch it. It's about 15 lessons from Stories of Yanxi Palace, and they're more helpful for various aspects of your life. But in this video, I want to focus on the professional aspect. If you haven't watched the show, what are you watching for? Just watch it. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. Now, let's get started, shall we? First, subscribe. When it's done, let's get started. You subscribed? Let's go. So, lesson 1. Never show your full hand. Wei Yingluo's conceal her real capabilities until the moment of maximum impact. And I think it's so interesting. Sometimes it's good to have some strategic restraint. Not everybody needs to know that you know everything already. So sometimes she acts dumb, she plays clumsy, she feigns ignorance, but all of that is strategic because she's really clever and she acts as if she doesn't know, but actually she knows so that people underestimate her. And I think that's a nice lesson from the movie because the fact that she's not showing her full hand, people are more willing to share some information to her because they think that, well, anyway, she doesn't know, she doesn't understand what's going on. So 1, never show your full hand. 2, identify the real power, not the title power. And that's interesting because we see that sometimes in the show, she finds people that are powerful, but they're only powerful in titles because actually they're not the one taking the decision. They're not the one having power. And I think that's really interesting. And I think it's the same in some professional settings. So sometimes the person who takes the decision maker, is not necessarily the one with the highest title or whatsoever. So you need to map who controls the outcomes and who holds nominal rank, basically. And that's really interesting. So something to adapt for yourself. Number 3, make yourself indispensable before asking for anything. So she creates a depth of reciprocity, which is something that works a lot in sales and even in life. You want to give before you ask. So when you ask someone something, they will think, oh, but she already gave me so much, I have to give her that. So it creates that depth of reciprocity. And it's something you can apply in real life as well, at work, I think. So I definitely think it's a nice one for you. And it's also known as leverage building. So go for it. Number 4. Let enemy destroy themselves. Sometimes you don't need to push people. They push them themselves into thing. So don't do anything. She rarely strikes first in the show. So she understands the rivals. She understands that a lot of people have ambition as well in the Forbidden City. So she nudges some situation so opponents act out of panic or pride, and then she lets the consequences land on them. Now, number 5. Control your emotional signals, not your emotions. So Wei Yingluo is emotional. She feels emotions, but she doesn't crash out in public. She will crash out in private. So she feels everything. She only shows the amount of emotion that's useful to be shown publicly. Food for ladies. Number 6. Build vertical and horizontal alliances. So we've seen in the first video how important alliances are, and I think in the professional workplace they are even more important. And what we see in the show with Wei Yingluo is that she built alliances that are horizontal with people with the same rank as her, as well as with some people that are above her rank or below her rank, and all of them prove useful at some point. Now, I'm not saying be friendly with people just so you can get something in return, but know that building alliances, whatever the rank of the person, can help you in the long run. So definitely something that you need to learn. Then number 7, reputation is infrastructure, protect it fiercely. She was really protective of her reputation, having her name clean at all times. Even when some people try to slander her, she always found a way to get her name cleaned. And I think it's really, really interesting. Now, number 8, use kindness as strategy, not only as virtue. And she had what we could call strategy and generosity, because she was really willing to help when she did. But there were investments in the long term, because some people remember, oh, she helped me when I had that, now I have to help her. So being kind is actually something that can be rewarded as well. Now, number 9, know which rules to break and how to own the cost. So sometimes she broke the rules, but she knew it was safe to break the rules because she knew who would back her up. And she knew also why she was breaking the rule. So sometimes she was breaking the rule in the name of some of moral, of justice, fairness. And then the fact that she broke the rule was more acceptable in that time. So she was not just doing everything that she pleased, but even when she broke the rule, she was strategic about the rule that was being broken. So definitely something to learn that you can even apply at work. I'm not saying don't follow the protocol, but if you have a real reason not to follow something and you could explain it why in that instance you didn't follow the protocol because this, that, then maybe it would be more explainable. I'm not saying break the rules, but if you do happen to do it, it needs to be done for a good reason. That's what I'm saying. Don't twist my words. Now, last one, number 10. Your origin story is not your selling, because when Wei Yingluo entered the Forbidden City, she was just a servant, and when the show ended, she was the empress. So how did she do it? She always remembered that her origin story was just the beginning and not the end. And for her, actually, her origin story was an asset, because she didn't have the pressure of a family clan. She didn't have the pressure of title and all of that. She just heard her own name, and that was it. No allegiances, nothing. She actually weaponized what other people saw as a weakness. And I love to see that in the show, because she turned what people saw as a weakness as a strength. And where you start just shapes your strategy, and you decide what is your destination. This is what Wei Yingluo showed us, and I love to see that. So that's it. These are 10 lessons for your professional life based on Stories of Yanxi Palace. If you've seen the show and you see other lessons that you can apply to your professional life, please share those with me. If you haven't seen the show, go watch it now. But honestly, it's such an interesting story, and you can definitely take something out of it. Now, I'm just going to listen to some songs from the show and watch some videos about it, so I can still feel in the atmosphere of the show. But it's a really, really nice show, and I love those lessons. And I'm glad to share them with you today. So they're just not for me, but also for you. And that's it. You decide where you end. I like this one. That's why I kept it for the end. Subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Ciao.